So welcome to the 2057 season. Within this season, we are going to be moving into our new stadium named after our manager, Bram Ellison. Now, we have been asked to show the history screen. So you can see one club managed, one national team managed. Longest time at a club is 12,857 days, which we have now. 34 awards we've picked up, earning just under £10 million. 0 days spent on holidays, so I've not holidayed a single day in this save. We've signed 460 players in this series so far and spent over £1 billion. That's mental. Players sold 396. Transfers brought in 1.65 billion. So that's just over 500 million more brought in. Highest fee spent is 55 million for Keith Franklin, who is still playing. He's at Newcastle now. Been doing fairly well for them with 17 goals in 66. Highest fee received was Charlie McDowell, who still is playing, 28 years old, valued between 169 and 227. We do still have a 30% of profit of next sale on him. So there's still that dream. He goes for like 600 million somewhere. Total fee to agents just under 20 million, which is a bit upsetting. Highest nationality ranking is 1. Highest nation ranking 1. We will look at that actually in a second. And games played at AB 1,648, winning 1,257, 168 draws, 223 defeats. Goals for 4,894, conceded 1,319. Win percentage of 76 with 57 cup victories as manager, 33 league titles. We've played in total, because the national team, 1,948 games as a manager. Now, if we go to the Hall of Fame, we can obviously look to see where we are compared to, for example, this is worldwide. So we are not ranked in this, even though we've won 33 domestic titles, 26 domestic cups, and 2 other. Them other are the Champions League, by the way. And we have 789 points. It's annoying. It's annoying. In terms of continent-wise, we're not even anywhere close as well. So that's a bit upsetting. Nation-wise, we're obviously well ahead on there. 33 domestic titles. Second best is 5. And nationality-wise, because we're Faroe nationality, we're flying ahead of that as well. So moving on to the transfers in. The first transfer for 1.2 million was a FIFA World Under-18 player of the team tournament thing. He was in there somewhere, wasn't he? Mariano Pedro comes in. Angolan, international for Angola. He's very good. He might end up coming into the first team this season, but for now he's in our under-18s. 1.2 million, well spent. Another player who featured in the under-20 team of the year, a Russian, 775k, very talented centre midfielder, media description of hard-working. He has a lot of value. If he doesn't do too well for our B team, we can just cash in on him. Our big spending of the winter window for 28.5 million. And Milson Ramos joins us from Porto. Now, he comes in as a free kick specialist. We had very good players all around our squad, but we didn't have that superstar taking free kicks. And Ramos, with free kicks of 16, I do actually have him working additionally on free kicks. Hoping we get out to 17, if not 18. I think it's crucial we have a set-piece person to take us to that next level. Next signing to add just that bit of depth in striker and central midfield is Christian Herman Thorlasius. He's an Icelandic central midfielder or striker. Cost us 875k, 21 years old. He adds depth for very cheap. Now, you know when in episodes I admit that I make mistakes, I sometimes take punts on players where I can't see all the attributes. Andres de la Cruz is one of them. Joins us for 7 million. I went in for him because Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid and Juventus were in for him. So I thought, you know what, let's get ahead of them. I put in the bid, we picked him up. He's not as good as I hoped, but he is only 18, so let's hope he develops. Now, this signing adds a bit of confusion. He got in the Wonder Kids of the Year list. He's only 18. He's a very, very good central defender. Physically, mentally and technically, insanely good. The problem is now we have 4 defenders for 2 slots. So it causes a bit of confusion of, do I let someone go or do we just rotate best we can? But he's a very good player, Uleberg. For 7.5 million, he could be a top world-class central defender in a few years. Next player we picked up for 4.1 million was in the Wonder Kids list for top 50 Wonder Kids. 18 years old, 3 caps for Finland. Don't like all these down arrows, I'm saying that now. But he looks a very, very good player. Really impressed by him. Now, weirdly, it says he's not played a single game for us. But down here you can see he's actually played 2 games for us in the league this year. So I'm a bit confused why that's not picked up that he's played any games. But 4.1 million, I think it's money well spent. And the final signing will keep some of you happy who had me nickname this player Paul not so long ago. And Paul rejoins us age 34 to give us that depth in attack which I wanted. I needed someone who I knew was going to score goals as an option. The fact he can play both wings, attacker, mid and a striker. For 1.5 million, he joins us on a 2-year deal, which means he's going to be with us when the save ends. And he's already scored 7 goals in 4 league games. Money well spent. So we spent 51 million this winter, and we've added, some players have gone to our youth team. So if I highlight, for example, them two, this guy, this one, and this one, these are all mainly youth team players. So only 3 players are coming with the idea of being in and around the first team. In terms of outs, so Gadiaga has gone to Sassuolo. Roberto, who we signed for, I think it was 5 million. Yeah, we've sold for 5.25 plus 50% of next sale. After he was alright for us last year, to be honest with you. I didn't really want to sell him, but we needed to free up some foreign player slots, so we've made money on him. Ederson's gone to Porto for 5 million after we paid 3.2. So again, it's all a little bit of profit. A couple of players out on loan, and a few more players on loan. This was a tough one. I wasn't sure if we should move Porterson into our first team or not. Then Hampstead came and said, can they have him on loan? And being one of our feeder clubs, I thought it was a good idea. He scored a hat-trick on his debut. I'm hoping a year for them, then he could be a rotation option in 2058 for the first team. So let's look at how things have gone in the Champions League then. We started against AB with a 1-1. Makengo, our former player on the score sheet for them, which is a bit upsetting. We then lost at home to Dortmund 2-0, which saw us unfortunately not make the top 8 for the first time in 2 seasons. Well, this would be the 3rd season if we'd made it. 2 seasons in a row we'd done it. So finishing in 10th meant we had to go into the playoff round. Now I don't want to be nasty to other teams in this league, but Rennes we got drew against, and out of all the teams, I think this was the team I would have fancied getting drawn against. We got 0-0 away from home before they came back to our ground, and we got 3-0 victory. Ramos getting a hat-trick in this game saw us go through to the last 16, where we would face Real Madrid. It sounded very Spanish with that, Real. So in the first leg, we got a 2-1 victory. Yemeland and Mufasa on the score sheet. Bojan for them, but they did go down 10 men as well. So a victory in the first leg. Going back to the Bernabeu, we had to just not lose. And let me tell you, I parked the bus for the last 5 minutes of this game. So they scored a penalty, which made it back even. But then we scored in the 87th minute through Yemeland. And after that goal went in, I basically parked the bus. Let's have a look, and so you can just see the goal that Yemeland scored, which saw us knock out Real Madrid in the last 16 of this. And it was just, look how open he was. Everyone bombed forward and he was just left completely unmarked to make it 3-2 on aggregate as AB go through to the last 8, knocking out Real Madrid. Now again, drawn against Inter Milan was always going to be tough. They look a very good side this year, and they did beat us at home 1-0, and losing the home leg, it's always going to be difficult. And we lost the return leg 3-1. It was 2-1. We were throwing everything at them near the end. They scored on the counter. it's kind of expected when you're throwing that much at them. At 2-1, I thought, okay, if we can get another goal, there's that opportunities for us maybe to get a third as well. We end up losing 3-1, going out 4-1 on aggregate, losing in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. There's no shame in it. We did the best we could. Again, we've progressed quite far again. We've got to be happy that we are looking like a Final 8, Final 4 team in the Champions League season after season now. League-wise, we've played 5 games. Vikingur were top, we've played 7. We've won 4. We've drew 1 game away to Vikingur where we had to put out a very rotated side because it was in and around the Inter Milan game. But we've started the league fairly well. Now, in terms of how the league has started and how we're looking, I've been playing Noel in the deep line playmaker role, which then gives us the ability to play Noel and Ramos in the same team. And let me tell you that if these keep gelling together over the next few months, we could have a very, very good side here. And I'm working on a second tactic, which in the next video we will look at. League games and games where I feel like we are the dominant force. We play in a 3 at the back and then trying to push people forward a little bit more. But I'm excited for how we're going to look. Defensively, we look solid. We've got Petter Klein, who came through the academy, and Carlson, who just looks a world-class defender, 22 years old now, is wanted by Leverkusen and Juventus. We do have 4 good players. I would sell him if we got offered a 70-80 million, but I'd just hold on to him if not for the last couple of years, because Ulleberg can come in for that position as well. And then Makela can also go in central defence, which then means Hjelhol comes in the left back. We look good. We've added some good depth. I don't like this Dela Cruz still. He really doesn't do it for me at the minute. He's only 18. I think we're probably going to drop him into the B team, just let him get some football for them, see if he can keep progressing. One player I do want to mention is this Jorge, who has come up into the first team after playing in our B team last year, not really featuring much. And he's already started 2 games, came off bench in 3 games in the league with 2 assists. And he's done fairly well, you know, in terms of a player who has settled and just looked like a decent player for us. I'm fairly pleased with him. Still fairly sure this is a bug where it doesn't seem to be registering the fact he's played any games for us, which is a little bit strange. When I click on it, it literally just shows nothing has happened. When I click here, it doesn't say he's played a single game. But when you go here, he's played 2 games for us. And that could be a bit of an annoying bug when you try and develop a player, if it doesn't register him ever playing any games. Financially then, after the Champions League run, we have 185 million in the bank. We've made profit the last 2 years in a row now, and we're at minus 23 at the minute this year. I do have a feeling we're going to end up making profits through 2057, which means FFP-wise, we're in a very strong position, which means going into the final season, we can improve the squad. I would like to bring back a couple of players, the likes of Franklin, Mark Quadson maybe as a rotation for defence. As we go into that final year of the save, I want to bring a couple of people back, but also in a position where I'm improving the squad for the future. So the likes of Paul coming back, he's mentoring people now to be better players. That kind of thing I'm thinking. But that is it for the start of this season, 2057. I will see you in the next episode where I will be completing the summer transfer window. Hopefully there's a couple of additions, and hopefully the good players are not leaving. Thank you for watching. Make sure you have dropped a like on the video and commented below, and I will see you next time.